לבקר בהיכלו.
Shalom and welcome to the channel. It's a blessing to be with you here. As you can see, I'm not alone. You want to say something?
Shalom and welcome.
So, sorry to be so fast in this. I didn't communicate anything in advance, but we were not thinking to do this live stream. Actually, yesterday we were talking to send an email just with some words about the Chag Tirosh. And, we're not thinking to do something in a video or to do this a live stream. But, I personally was feeling this morning that they need to do something. Just to have this interaction. It's good to have you in the chat. I see some of you chatting over there, and it's so nice that you are able to join us today. So I think it's much better to send an email. It's just to do a short video. This is not going to be a long one. It's going to be a short one. But just to share some words about the Chag Tirosh. And I've seen that there's some comments already from you in the chat.
It's nice, yeah.
Talking about this, and it's really nice, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of insight that we can share with some brothers and sisters when they are arriving, or they have even not heard about this feast before. So, yeah, I like it.
So this is a very, very nice. So if you have not heard about Chag Tirosh is the Hebrew word that is being translated as the feast of the new wine, or the feast of the first fruit of wine. And I want to share with you the calendar, that in case you are following this calendar or following any type of calendar that is based on the book of Jubilees, is based on the book of Enoch, or in the Dead Sea Scrolls, you are gonna be noticing that there is a few other feasts that are not being found so clearly in the scriptures. Actually, I think I mentioned this in the past, that we can find this feast in the scriptures when we started looking into it in the book of Nehemiah, and in other places in Torah. No matter that it's not written specifically
with the title,
with the title, you can find that these feasts are in the scripture. But where you can find this more clearly are in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So let me share very quickly. Actually, it's not this one. I think it's this one. Yes. So this is the calendar that we have been following and sharing with all of you. You know, the interesting part, and let me switch this screen over here, is that, you know, we are already in the 5th month. And this is a bit crazy, you know, this year is going that fast that, you know, I think it is also a prophetic thing going on. That's why days are going so fast. So we are in the 5th month according to this calendar that we are following. And we are already in July 17, as you can see here. Or here, I don't know. Yes, you can see it. We are in July 17, and this is the 3rd day of the this month, of the 5th month. And we are talking is the first day of the week, is the Sunday according to the Gregorian. And this is exactly the day that we completed the 50 days counting after Shavuot, is when we are celebrating the first fruits of wine, is Chag Tirosh. I saw in part of the chat that you know, the explanation, and this is a very good explanation, is that there are the 3 feasts that are being separated with a counting of 50 days, and you can find this information in the Scrolls. And the first one is Shavuot, you know, and we know that Shavuot is starting after the first fruits of the barley that are being celebrated, as we know, in the first month, is what we call Rashid Katsir, and we start the counting of the 50 days. And at the day 50, we celebrate Shavuot in the 3rd month, in the 15 days. And immediately in this day, we start the second counting of 50 days. That's why, you know, you can find in the calendar here day 2, day 3, day 4, and the letter over here is DSS, referring to the Dead Sea Scrolls. And when we count until the day 50, we land in the 3rd day of the 5th month, and is the feast of Chag Tirosh, the first fruits of wine. And we immediately start a new counting of 50 days that it will lead us to the feast of the first fruits of new oil. And all of this is you can find it in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And you know, it's so beautiful. And let me put the camera once again. So here we are. And it's so beautiful because, you know, we see in several places in the scripture, especially when we're talking about the offerings, that there are different type of offerings. There are the offerings related to the animals, you know, but also there are the meal offerings, and also there are drink offerings. And the drink offerings are the
wine.
Of wine.
The new wine.
Exactly. So all the grains, all the wine are related to the offering. Actually, you know, in the temple services, they also they were in the need of oil, because they needed to mix the oil with the wheat, with the grain, in order to offer.
They also need the oil for having light with the lamps.
Exactly. And in order to perform the offerings, the sacrifices, they also need wood. That's why, you know, it's so important that, you know, with the light that we are receiving in addition from the Dead Sea Scrolls, we understand that the people of Israel, they were somehow commanded to give these offerings, you know, from the wine, from the oil, from the grain, from the first fruits of the land, in order for the service, the worship, the service to YaHuWaH in the temple to be fulfilled. And let's keep in mind that the priests, they were in charge of the service, but they didn't have any inheritance in the land. So
they have to receive it.
Exactly.
Somehow.
So the people of Israel from the other tribes, they needed to bring all of this in order to serve YaHuWaH as he was commanded in Torah. So this is an important feast, that there are so many, I think, meanings that are required to understand. You want to say something?
No, that I just read a question, very good question from Arthur and Cornelia. And they were asking if we do need to be off working during those extra feasts.
I think I haven't found anything about this. You know, the only thing that I found, I remember when I was reading the Dead Sea Scrolls, is about the celebration of the first day of the months, the Chodeshim. And at least in the Dead Sea Scroll, it says that this should be an off-work day. I haven't studied personally that much, and I think it's important maybe to do it. But particularly for this feast, I haven't seen anything about being without work. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything directly.
So, there are a few passages, and at least one of them that we want to share with you today that somehow is prophetic. Let me put the scripture here. There we have. And I think, it's a kind of our hope related to what is coming, what the Mashiach is coming, bringing to the earth in terms of the restoration of all things. And we found this passage in the book of Isaiah, YaHuWaH, chapter 62, and you can see it in the screen. And we will read it for you. We'll talk about it just briefly, starting on the verse 6 onward. So do you want to read it?
Okay.
Let's do it.
I have set watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem, all the day and all the night, continually. We are not silent. You who remember YaHuWaH, give yourself no rest, and give him no rest till he establishes and till he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. YaHuWaH has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, no more do I give your grain to be food for your enemies, nor do sons of the foreigners drink your new wine, for which you have labored. But those gathering it shall eat it and praise YaHuWaH, and those collecting it shall drink it in my set-apart courts. Pass through the gates, prepare the way for the people. Build up the highway, remove the stones, lift up a banner for the peoples. See, YaHuWaH has proclaimed to the end of the earth. Say to the daughter of Zion, see, your deliverance has come. See, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall be called set-apart people, the redeemed of YaHuWaH, and you shall be called sought out, a city not forsaken.
The beautiful thing of this passage, and why I wanted to share it, particularly this one, because it's talking about what is coming. It's talking about the second Exodus. It's talking about the restoration that is coming by the hand of Mashiach. And it's so beautiful because particularly here is talking about that the new wine, that he is going to restore things in such a way that the foreigner, the strangers, are not going to drink the new wine that is being somehow assigned to the people of Israel. And the more beautiful thing is what is written in the verse 9, that it says, and those collecting it shall drink it in my set-apart courts. So, this new wine is all over the place in the scripture, and the only fact that it's saying that we are going to drink this new wine and we are going to do it in his temple, I think is a beautiful picture of what's coming and the promises of YaHuWaH to all of us. What we have not much to share, but there is our beloved brothers, Dennis and Debbie. They shared with me a few weeks ago a document they wrote where they were explaining a little bit more about this feast. And we want to share this document. They allow us to share this with all of you. And we want to share part of it with you, just the beginning of the document. And I will put in the chat the link so you can download this document and just read it for yourself and study for yourself. I think they did a great job by collecting and putting together all this information. You don't know who is Dennis and Debbie. I'm referring to them, and they appear in the chat as Shirion. They are not here live. Most probably they're gonna be able to see this one later on. Thank you so much, Dennis and Debbie, for sharing this document. And what a blessing, a beautiful time to share the document with everybody in this day. You know, it's a document related to this feast, and I think it's awesome to be able to share it with you specifically today. So let me put it in the screen, and let me remove the scripture here, and there we have. So we're gonna just read the part of it, and as I said, we are gonna share this with you all at the link in the chat. So give me a second. And there you have. So you want to read it?
Okay. New wine first fruit. Chag Tirosh. I give you all the freshest olive oil and all the finest new wine and grain that the Israelites give to YaHuWaH as their first fruits. Yeah, and that is, you can read it in Bemidbar or Numbers 18:12. Should I continue?
Yeah. Let's read at least the first page. I think that would be enough.
Okay. We began the count of the new wine first fruit on the day.
Sorry.
It disappears suddenly. Okay.
I'm sorry again. Go ahead.
Okay. On the day of Shavuot, the 15th day of the third month. And we count to 50, the third day of the fifth month. The count begins on day 1 of the week and ends on day 1 of the week. The Father's calendar is very precise and does not vary. This is yet another mini Jubilee. It's the summer harvest, the ingathering, in preparation for Sukkot. We can see the prophetic language and implications. The primary crops in order of harvesting, a few overlap: barley, lentils, wheat, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives. There are 7. And grapes are right in the middle. All of the crops are important. But wine seems to be central to Israel and the kingdom. New wine is specifically mentioned 40 times in the Bible, 35 times in the Tanakh or Old Testament, and 5 times in the Brit Hadashah or New Testament.
So here they go to explain, you know, and I found it fascinating, this document, because they went to describe the different words in Hebrew, and I think they also did the same with the Greek. And you know, they explain this document, all the passages and what's the meaning from the Hebrew words, and different passages and stories in the scripture. You know, the famous ones when YaHuWaH was transforming the water in wine in that wedding feast.
And it was his first miracle.
And was the first miracle, and that's why it's so important as well. And there are so many references about new wine that I think Dennis and David did a great job to collecting all of this in this document. So just let me share with you the link here in the chat. Just give me a second.
And just to add what Arthur and Cornelia were asking about not working on a day like this, maybe if you have the opportunity, it's always better not to do it, not to working in things that are related to, I don't know, your daily. How do you say that when it's your work?
Day-to-day activities.
The activities, because
or your regular job.
Yeah, your regular job, because if you avoid that, you're going to be connected somehow in a different way. And you're going to be having a different spirit within you. So the Ruach is going to be more connected with Abba, and that is very beautiful. But every time that we started to do all the daily things, it's like a kind of breaking that connection. So just a thought that maybe you can, if you can, do it, take it off.
And you know, as I always have been sharing with you here in the channel and different studies, you need to follow what you are feeling in your heart. You know, the Ruach will lead you on what you need to do. Actually, the only fact that we are doing this broadcast today, this short one, because we were being obedient to what we were feeling in our heart. So, you know, if you feel in your heart that you need to be off work and to be focused on the celebration, do it. It's part of the learning process. We all are, all of us, we are together in this. And, we need to be obedient to what we are feeling in our hearts. There's something that I was checking here, and I wanted to, let me put the scriptures once again. By the way, I just put the link in the chat. So if you want to download the document, go to this link and you will have a copy of it. In case you are not, you are watching this this video after the broadcast, I will be including a comment in the comment section of this video with the link so you can download the document as well. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to share with you, and I think I mentioned this earlier. Let me find the scripture here. It's in the book of Nehemiah in Hebrew. So there you have it in the chapter 10. And, there are multiple references here. And actually, I'm going to read it completely. Let's read from verse 33 to verse 37. Okay? And it says the following, the whole, read the entire chapter in context, so you will understand what is happening here. But it's basically Nehemiah describing everything, the restoration that they were doing on the service of the temple when they were coming back from Babylon. So let's start in the verse 32. It says the following, and we impose commands on ourselves to give from ourselves yearly 1/3 of a shekel for the service of the house of our Elohim, for the showbread, and for the continual grain offering, and for the continual ascending offering of the Shabbats, of the Chodeshim, the months, for the appointed times, and for the set-apart offerings, and for the sin offerings to make atonement for Israel, and all the work of the house of our Elohim. And we cast lots among the priests, and the Levites, and the peoples, for bringing the wood offering into the house of our Elohim. Remember what I said, that the 50 days from now is the feast of the new oil, and immediately after that one is the feast of the wood offering. And we see here a reference of the offering of the wood. So for bringing the wood offering into the house of Elohim, according to our fathers' houses, at the appointed times year by year. So there is an appointed time to bring all of this year by year, in the same way that is described in Torah regarding the different feasts, to burn on the slaughter place of YaHuWaH our Elohim, as it is written in the Torah, and to bring the first fruits of our soil and the first fruits of all the fruit of all trees year by year to the house of YaHuWaH. Also to bring the firstborn of our sons and our livestock, as it is written in the Torah, and the firstlings of our herds and our flocks to the house of our Elohim, to the priests attending in the house of our Elohim. And that we shall bring the first fruits of our dough, and our contributions, and the fruit from all kinds of trees, of the new wine, and of oil. So here we see a direct reference to this feast, and also the coming one about the oil, to the priests, to the storerooms of the house of our Elohim, and the tithes of our land to the Levites, for the Levites should receive the tithes in all our rural towns. I'm going to keep it until there. It's only 2, so let's read it completely. And the priest, son of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites receive tithes. And the Levites bring up 1/10 of the tithes to the house of our Elohim, to the rooms of the storehouse. So, just to put a picture in our minds, they were having these storehouses in the place of the temple. And this is something that we have been losing in the modern way of living. We have been talking about this for several years. That, we depend so much in the system that it's so easy to go to the supermarket, to go to that place and to buy some food, that we lost something that was done in the past.
Yeah, to store and to keep some grain and use that for the next year.
Exactly, and to store food, we should have the storehouses in our homes to store food, and to somehow not to have a full dependency of the entire system. And if you have the chance to have a piece of land and to have some food that you are producing and YaHuWaH is blessing you through that soil, you should be able to have the same way to live, storing these kind of things. And it's amazing because we see it happening here in the house of YaHuWaH, in the temple. They have these storehouses and they were storing all of this because they were using it for the purpose of the service in the temple, the service and the worship to YaHuWaH. So that's why it's amazing. It also is an example for us on what we should conduct our own lives. And it says the last one, for the children of Israel and the children of Levi, bring the offering of the grain. So is all of them, is all the tribes, even the Levites, because they needed to give the tithe of the tithe. Okay? So everybody was bringing the offering of the grain, the offering of the new wine, the offering of the oil to the storerooms where the vessels of the set-apart place are, where the priest, the Kohanim, who attend, and the gatekeepers and the singers are. And we should not neglect the house of our Elohim. So this, I think, a beautiful picture, just to understand the significance of this feast. I will invite you to download the document from the Shirion, the brother Dennis and Debbie, to read it completely, to study, because I think they also included very interesting information over there.
And it's interesting that in Hason or Revelation, it says that at end times, not the oil nor the wine, I think, are going to be damaged.
Yeah, when it's talking about the 4 horses, not to touch the oil, not to touch the wine.
Yeah.
The wheat and the barley, I think, are the ones that are going to be increasing. And if you do the calculation, it's talking about inflation. And it's exactly what we're facing now these days.
So we have to be prepared and be cautious, like YaHuWaH was, and he was storing for the famine years.
So I think this is what we have to share. I told you it's going to be a very short live stream, and we just wanted to share these few words, telling you that we are remembering this feast today. Maybe we're gonna try a little bit of wine.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Why not? If you don't know, this country, Chile, we have a very good wine. So we have a few bottles there reserved for the feast. So maybe we're going to try a little bit.
Yeah.
But the most important is just to understand the significance. I think it's going to be so beautiful when Yahushua will restore all of this. And we are going to be able to partake all of this feast together in Jerusalem, as it is written in the passage that we were sharing in Yeshayahu, Isaiah, that we are going to drink the new wine together in the set-apart place of YaHuWaH. And that will be a fantastic day, and I think we're very close.
Be there with you.
It's not going to be more chat. It's going to be face-to-face. And it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Final.
Yes. So before the drop-in, I don't know if there's any question or comments you want us to read. Please feel free. I'm gonna just be checking the chat.
Yeah, and maybe you can share these documents with some people, because as some of us didn't know maybe years ago about this feast, maybe it's going to be a nice surprise for some new people also.
Yes. So if you have any comments or question or something you want to say or want to share, please feel free. I will be checking the chat for a few minutes. And that's true, Jacob. Yeah. He will drink of the fruit of the cup with us again. That was the promise of the new wine. Yeah. He will drink it anew with us in the kingdom. That's when, can you imagine all together with Mashiach celebrating this time? That's what will be fantastic. So, okay, so it's been a beautiful time. It's nice to be here. Thank you so much. As I said this yesterday in Virtual House Church, thank you so much for keeping us in your prayers. It's been 2 very difficult weeks. I started being sick Then you
Then
started,
it was
and
my
I started a
turn.
little bit again. So,
Yeah.
but and it took us very, very strongly.
Yeah.
But we have some issues in our throat,
Yeah,
but
but
very
it's
minimal.
normal, and it's normal.
And
But Abba has been very, I don't know, he is very compassionate, and he has helped us in every difficult moment of pain and everything. And we are back again.
yeah, we're back little by little. So expect to see us more often in the channel. We are praying to YaHuWaH to lead our steps on what to do. You, all of us, are in our hearts, and we are thinking all of you all the time, praying for you, and we know that you are praying for us as well. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today. If you didn't have the chance to join us live, I'm very sorry for not giving an early notification, but I'm glad that you are able to see this video with everything that we are sharing. And a special thanks for Dennis and Debbie for sharing with us the document that now is going to be able to be shared with all of you. So feel free to share with more people. We need to bring the light of YaHuWaH to others. And I think sharing these documents and these short videos, I think is a nice way to do it. So we're going to finish with the same song that we were sharing at the beginning. I think this is a time of feast. Yeah. So let's do it again. And thank you so much for joining us. Shavua Tov, Sameach, YaHuWaH be with you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.